Pound for Pound Sports Entertainment. Hit the like button, comment below, share, do all of that. Hit the notification button for your boy. When I post it, you get it, ladies and gentlemen. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button right now. Listen, it's your host, F. Merritt. Frank Martin. Now, there was a lot of big fights last night. We're going to start off with the Showtime broadcast of Frank Martin against Artem. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this dude's last name, but salute to him, man. He came to fight. He was a good little fighter. He got hurt towards the end. A couple of times Frank Martin hurt him. Looked like Frank Martin was trying to unload on him a little bit, trying to get him up out of there. But listen, as far as a technical fight, it was a good fight. Good fight. A lot of people think Frank Martin lost. Some people had Frank Martin losing by a round or two. Some people had it a draw. Some people had, Frank Martin winning. And I think it was honestly due to the fact that, I'm just going to say the guy's first name. I'm not trying to pronounce his last name. It's ridiculous. Artem. I believe, if it wasn't for Artem taking that knee, and I believe, the 11th round? Oh, man, it made things a lot easier for you to give it to Frank Martin. So, I mean, me personally, I had Frank Martin winning by, we'll say 1 or 2 rounds. It was mainly off of that knockdown, because old boy took a knee. But other than that, it was a good fight. It was a back and forth technical fight. It was times where Frank Martin was heating up and catching old boy with some good little punches, going to the body well, moving this, that, and the third. And then old boy would come back with sneaky right hands, catch Frank Martin off the, at the right time. He had good timing here and there. He was very sneaky. He had some power here and there. But I think the main thing, a lot of people are overlooking this, was the fact that Frank Martin kept kind of rushing in and they were clashing heads. I seen at least 4 clashes of heads. I think that ultimately kind of did something to Artem. And you know what I'm saying? And also Artem had hurt his eye, and it was a punch, I think a right hand that Frank Martin had through and kind of connected with that I think the left eye of Artem, and that's ultimately what made him take that knee and ultimately gave Frank Martin the fight. So as far as a fight, it was a good fight. Salute to Artem. He came in. Hopefully he's not seriously injured to the point where it's like he's going to need surgery or something like that. Take some time off, get right back in there. I like to see him take on Michelle Rivera. I think that'd be a good fight. Michelle Rivera coming back from the loss from Frank Martin, and he had he got popped hot and suspension and stuff like that. So that's pretty good. I think Showtime has one with him, with Artem, and he's a good fighter. He's an Olympian, this, that, and the third. So hey, continue building on that. But salute to Frank Martin. Now, as far as Frank Martin is concerned, he said he wants the big names, the Shakur Stevensons, Devin Haney's, Gervonta Davis. I've seen a lot of comments where a lot of people were saying, yo, he's not ready. He's not ready. Based off that performance, nah, I don't think he's ready off of that performance. I think he needs at least one more performance, and then we can try to put him in there with a big name. But I mean, at the end of the day, you win regardless, right? Like I said, Frank Martin won. You didn't look that crisp, that good like his usual Frank Martin. Okay, cool. You take another fight in between. Continue building up your fan base on Showtime. That's it. Continue building up. You're one phenomenal performance away, And I seen online, Keyshawn Davis was cracking up, laughing at him, and people were getting on Twitter, laughing and stuff. Okay, cool, great. That's cool. At some point, the laughing will have to stop. At some point, all the tweets, this, that, and the third will have to stop, and you're going to have to fight them. You're going to have to fight them. All them comments and little slick tweets and social media back and forth. Nah. It's going to be time to fight. But in the meantime, continue doing what you're doing, Frank Martin. Salute to you, sir. You got the victory last night. We'll see what's next for you. Artem, like I said, I would like to see him in there with Michelle Rivera, or just take some time off. It is what it is. Also on the zone, okay, a little bit earlier over in Detroit. Listen, Alycia Baumgardner taking on Linardatou, the rematch. This is the only woman to defeat Alycia Baumgardner, okay? Undisputed champion Alycia Baumgardner. She went in there. She put on a great performance. As far as, I like how she started. I'm not going to lie. I like the first couple rounds, how Alycia Baumgardner started. She was very, very patient. Sometimes, some points in the fight, it was a little bit too patient because Linardatou was coming. I ain't gonna front. She was showing a lot of energy. She was pressing. She was very, very aggressive. I do like the accuracy of Alycia Baumgardner. She was very accurate. She mixed up a lot of hooks, looking for the uppercuts here and there, trying to use Linardatou's aggression against her, working the jab. She's a very strong fighter. Listen, Alycia Baumgardner is very strong very strong fighter, but she has a lot of power. The thing with her is she's learning how to control that power as opposed to just punching herself out sometimes, taking a round or two to try to recover and then go back in. She's actually coming up with great game plans of systematically breaking down her opponents. And she also said at the end of the fight, hey, I'm getting better. I'm a student of the game. Everybody knows every round is different. Every fight is different. You might have a game plan at the beginning of the fight or going into the fight. When the fight comes on, you got to make adjustments to that game plan. And guess what? They made the adjustments. They got the win over Linardatou. And at the same time, Linardatou, like I said, she was the only woman to defeat Alycia Baumgardner. But she put on a great performance herself. So I would like to see her back in that ring. Not to mention, it was her first fight back since having a baby. Like, that alone is a huge accomplishment. You go 12 rounds with a woman that you previously defeated. You had a chance at undisputed. You went 12 rounds with her. You looked great. You lost, but it wasn't a bad loss. I would not mind seeing Linardatou back in the ring again. I would like maybe Michaela Mayer. Make that fight happen. That's a good fight. Michaela Mayer doesn't have anybody to fight as of right now that I know of off the top of my head. The fans are clamoring for her. I've seen somebody saying, oh, a rematch of Michaela Mayer, talking about Alycia Baumgardner. Alycia Baumgardner has called out, she wants Katie Taylor. She wants Amanda Serrano. She wants those type of fights, okay? Listen, Katie Taylor, I believe, is rematching the woman that she just lost to in a weight class a little bit, one up on her, so she's busy. Okay, everyone knows that the big fight was supposed to be the rematch between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. That rematch is not happening right now. I don't know who Amanda Serrano is fighting, but I know who I would like to see her fight. I would love to see Alycia Baumgardner and Amanda Serrano fight. That's a great fight. Put it at Madison Square Garden. Do what you got to do. It doesn't matter. Okay, I like that fight. I would hope to see that fight next. I don't know when Amanda Serrano is getting back in the ring. She's going to need a tune-up. But guess what? I like that. You go right back. You go right into Alycia Baumgardner fight. I'm sure Alycia Baumgardner will be like, hey, you want to do it at the end of the year? Come on, let's go. Let's do it. Listen, salute to Eddie Hearn. Salute to Boxer over in the UK. Those people are doing a great job of promoting and supporting women's boxing. So I'm going to say this. When it comes to a grade of women's boxing, for the promoters and the networks, I give them a B+ in supporting women's boxing, putting them in big fights, doing little mini tournaments, this, that, and the third. And everyone's getting time. Everyone's getting a shot. Everyone's getting time to shine. I respect that. As far as the women's concerned, when it comes to women's boxing, I give every fighter involved an A+. They are not only participating, they are going out there giving their all. There's no excuses. We're not having to wait. They are, and also they're showing up at everyone's fights. They are all supporting each other, and they're making women's boxing even better. So I salute both the promotions, both the networks, and the women fighters involved, because I'm loving it right now. You're not having to wait. You want to fight? Let's go. You're next. Let's go. I want this person next. Tournament style. It don't matter. Come on. I'll go to your backyard. You come to my backyard. They making the fight happen. It is what it is. This has been a phenomenal year of boxing, man. And it's, and we're going to continue growing. So with that being said, salute to Alycia Baumgardner last night, handling her business, getting that monkey off of her back, so to speak, getting from underneath that shadow, so to speak. Man, listen, what can you say? She's avenged her only loss. She's avenged her only loss. Many fighters cannot say that. Lots of fighters cannot say they avenged the only loss that they have in their career. Alycia Baumgardner can. So like I said, salute to both of those fighters. Two warriors win at it. Alycia Baumgardner was the victor. She moves on. She wants the big names. Come on. Also on that card, the highly anticipated pro debut for Andy Cruz taking on Burgos. Listen, Burgos he's 35. I believe he has 8 losses. He's been in a ring with Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney. He's even shared the ring with Mikey Garcia. So listen, he's fought a lot of big guys. As far as big names, he's fought them all. Andy Cruz went in there. He handled his business. He looked crisp. He looked good. His trainers and his team, Mr. Bosey, Jerron Booth and his father, they got him right. He's over in Philly training. He's working hard. He showed us everything. He showed us every level. He was crisp. He had speed. The defense was right. He was crafty in there. He did whatever he wanted to do. So salute to Andy Cruz, man. It's a phenomenal pro debut on his own. Eddie Hearn, I'm sure he was over there smiling, enjoying himself. He probably called it a masterclass of boxing. It is what it is, man. As far as Keyshawn Davis is concerned with Andy Cruz, now listen, Andy Cruz beat Keyshawn Davis, I believe, 4 times in the amateurs, if I'm not mistaken. So listen, Keyshawn Davis is a great fighter. But from what they say, and this is coming out of Keyshawn Davis's mouth, hey, pros is different from amateurs. If you got an amateur style, it's different. You're not sitting down on your punches, not turning your punches over, right? It's not going to work in the pros. It's 2 different things. And there has been some cases and lots of other fights where, this guy beat this guy in the amateurs. The pros is a totally different thing. I'm a totally different monster. I'm not just trying to, get you points and stuff. I'm trying to knock you out of there. I know the techniques. I know how to go 12, this, that, and the third. A lot of different factors from the amateurs compared to the pros. So salute to Andy Cruz for making sure that he got the right team around him. He is focused. He's looking phenomenal, and he's looking right in his pro debut. Like I said, amateurs are different from pros. Andy Cruz looks like he has no issues making that transition. He's ready to go. I'm looking forward to his next opponent. I know Mr. Eddie Hearn, the Matchroom promoter, and he's the promoter of Matchroom Boxing over there on DAZN. He is gonna keep Andy Cruz busy because guess what? I say maybe realistically, I say 2.5, maybe 3 years. They're slowly building up for that Keyshawn Davis Andy Cruz fight. This is the beginning of it. I guarantee you it's going to be back and forth. It's going to be more back and forth. Andy Cruz is going to be, talking more to Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis, he does a lot of talking, but he's going to be wanting to fight a lot more and knock everybody out, this, that, and the third. He wants that fight. The money just has to be right, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to say it again. Salute to Andy Cruz. Salute to Keyshawn Davis. I'm looking forward to that fight being built up the right way. Major payday, major money for both guys involved, and I'm looking forward to a phenomenal fight if these guys fight in a couple of years. With that being said, Andy Cruz, keep on building, keep on doing your thing, stay active, stay training. You got the right team around you, stay focused. With that being said, hit the like button, comment below, share, do all of that. It's your host, F. Merritt, Pound for Pound Sports Entertainment. Hit the notification button. When I post it, you get it. I'm out.